Good morning everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you all had a lovely Christmas break. It's very weird to be picking up the camera again, but also really nice. Feels like I've clicked my fingers and it was Vlogmas and now I'm filming again. It's so crazy how time flies. I was just downstairs and I realised I need to get on with the day because I was faffing. My routine has been so funny because I got my wisdom teeth out on New Year's Eve of all days. And it has not been the smoothest of recoveries, but we'll talk about all of the things I've been up to. I'm gonna do my skincare and we're gonna get some makeup on for the day, get ready, and we're gonna tidy because the house needs a big refresh for the new year. It needs a big tidy and sort out. I haven't had the chance or the energy because I've been recovering from my wisdom teeth surgery, and today is the day because I do feel a bit better. But yeah, hope you all had an amazing new year. Let me know in the comments what you did because I had such a nice time, and yeah, it'd be lovely to hear from everyone again. Let me know what you did over Christmas and the new year. I'll show you what I'm using. This is the Keys Soul Care Cleanser. This is the same pretty much routine that I shared not that long ago. So I'm not really doing this to show you my skincare, I'm doing this so I actually vlog today. Yeah, we had a lovely Christmas. We hosted Christmas this year, which was new for us, but really exciting because obviously we have renovated our kitchen, and so that was kind of a dream of mine when we were renovating, to be able to think about having family and friends round for Christmas and New Year and all that kind of stuff. So for it actually to become a reality this year was like a pinch me moment. I might have a few photos or videos of Christmas morning. I remember being in the kitchen, we'd set the table, I was making the nut roast, all the veg was prepared, and I was just looking around thinking, wow, this is like what I always dreamed of. And it was a real like pinch me sort of manifestation moment of, I don't know, someone actually sent me a message saying, when I posted the photo of the Christmas table and the kitchen on Christmas morning on Instagram, someone messaged saying, it's so amazing to see this, Maddie, to have watched you for these years and see how far you've come. And I suppose it takes maybe an outside person to say that to you, to think, yeah, that's really cool, like, I'm really proud of myself. So I was very like proud of us and excited and sort of, I don't know, just, you know, like pinch me moments you have in life. You're like, wow, once upon a time I was dreaming of this and now it's like happening, and it's like kind of surreal. That's how that felt in the morning, and it was really lovely to cook Christmas dinner for everybody, and Alex's family were here and my family were here, and I got very drunk actually on Christmas Day, which I didn't expect, but Alex really stocked up on alcohol, and we had lots of Camel Valley sparkling rosé, which is like one of my favourites. It's a Cornish vineyard, and I think because I was just drinking throughout the day and kind of nervous about hosting, I just forgot how many glasses of fizzy wine I was having. So by the end of the day, I was pretty tipsy. I'm just going to use the Biosense Squalane and Hyaluronic Toning Mist. The week before was a bit manic because we obviously were doing our living room like you saw up until the very last minute. We had to tidy everything up because our living room stuff, my Biosense vitamin C serum is really running out. I'm gonna get every last drop. Yeah, we were renovating and tidying and everything till the very last minute. So I took 2 weeks off work. We took 2 weeks off work on the calendar, and I'm so glad that we did, because it literally took us a week to set the house up, because we had to move everything back up into the attic. There's loads of stuff in the spare bedroom that was left over from moving back into the kitchen and our living room. It was all stored in there whilst we were renovating. So we had to sort all that stuff out, and you don't really like, I feel like when you're renovating for like 6+ months, you underestimate the amount of mess that you create by moving everything out of where they belong. So it was a very much, I thought we'd move everything into the kitchen, move everything into the living room, and it would be tidy again. but there's so much random stuff that ends up in places that it doesn't belong. So it took us like a week to do that, and then also to just clean the whole house, because every surface of the downstairs was covered in dust. There was all of our tools everywhere, all of our paintbrushes. It just took us a lot of time to do it, but it was also quite cleansing, like, to do that. Obviously Christmas has happened since, the house is messy again. And then New Year's Eve wasn't the New Year's Eve I was planning. I'm using the Esper 24-hour replenishing moisturiser. What was I saying? Yeah, so New Year's Eve, well, in between Christmas and New Year's Eve, we relaxed and sort of just ate loads of food and chilled out in our new living room, watched lots of movies. It's really lovely. I actually didn't go out that much. I thought I would go on more walks and stuff, but I guess I was tired from everything, so I really did spend a lot of time just on the sofa and sleeping, which was lovely. And then New Year's Eve, I got a phone call before Christmas saying about my wisdom teeth surgery, because I was referred from my dentist, because I've been having issues with my wisdom teeth for years, probably literally like a decade. I've always had dentists tell me one day you need to get your wisdom teeth out. But I've been putting it off and putting it off, and then the last 2 years it's been more of a recurring thing that I had to go get antibiotics because my face gets a bit swollen from my wisdom teeth. So I got referred. I had to cancel my first appointment because it clashed with something else, and they kind of just ring you up and say, hey, you free this day? And then you're kind of like on the spot like, okay. And then when it came to it, I realised I was not free, and that did not work. Because I'm a people pleaser, I was just like, yeah, sure, that sounds fine. And then in the end, it didn't work. So I had to reschedule, and it got rescheduled for New Year's Eve. And again, it was that kind of phone call like, hey, we're booking you in for New Year's Eve. Is that okay? And I was like, I guess. And then I had to get a COVID test a few days before, and then I went in for the surgery, and it was, I mean, if you are going to get your wisdom teeth done and you're scared, or if you are scared by this kind of stuff, skip this, because I don't want to scare anyone, but for me it was not a nice experience. For some people I think it's fine, but for me it wasn't fun. I was in there for like over an hour, and they just had a really difficult time getting them out. The one on my right side was covered by the gum, so they had to make a nick and then stitch that back up, and that just took a very long time to get out. There's lots of pulling and tugging. And then the left hand side, they said the root was curved, so that took a lot of effort to get out, and I pretty much was crying when they were doing this one. It's not that it was painful, it's just the repeated movements of someone tugging and pulling on your cheek. Oh my gosh. And then when I finished, he was like, yeah, you're not gonna have a good New Year's Eve. And he was like, take lots of painkillers, no alcohol, soft food only, you've got to relax. And then since then, this is Thursday, so it's been nearly a week, so it'll be a week tomorrow. I was in agony for the whole weekend, taking lots of painkillers, and the mornings are the worst. Like, I wake up with just the most agonising jaw ache. Today actually was the first day I didn't wake up and cry, and I'm not a crier. I really don't cry very much. And every morning I wake up in so much pain that I cry, and I can't do anything. So it's not been great, but like everything in life, I'm trying to use it as a lesson, especially because it's the new year, and I want to like go over some of my New Year's resolutions. Oh, by the way, that was the ultraviolet SPF 50 plus Queen Screen. Queen Screen? Yes, lightweight sunscreen. I'll talk to you about my New Year's resolutions later, maybe when I have a break from tidying or something, I don't know. It's been a nice lesson for me, because usually in the new year it's like, I'm going to be getting up at 6 AM, journaling, meditating, going to the gym, walking Roxy, all the new habits, which is actually amazing. I love that. It makes me feel so good. It makes me feel really motivated, and it actually gets me in a really good mental headspace. I know by now, knocking on 30, what makes me feel good, and that does make me feel better. But I also sometimes go over into a level of perfectionism and pushing myself too much. So this was a nice lesson to say, relaxing, lying in, sleeping when you need it, and resting is important as well, because if you are recovering from surgery, you don't need to be doing those things. You can recover from surgery first, and life goes on, and having a restful morning recovering is just as productive and useful and wonderful. And it doesn't have to be one thing in the new year. In the new year, you do not have to be doing all those things. You can also be resting if you need it. If you're going through a difficult time, if you've had surgery, if something's going on in your life, which means you aren't able to do those productive, go, motivated things, resting is productive. It is so productive, it's so good for you, it's so important, it's so healthy. And that's a lesson I want to learn, and I think it is quite a powerful thing to have to start 2022. Let's go next door. Now I've done my skincare. feeling all fresh. Well, the lighting was much better this way. And put some makeup on. I'm really blabbing. This is going to be a long video. I'm only actually putting on makeup for the video, but also yesterday I put makeup on because we had a meeting in Truro and I did feel better because I have been struggling the last few days. I think because the amount of time I've spent inside, indoors, not doing anything and feeling a bit sorry for myself because of my wisdom teeth, I have had a bit of a resurgence of like anxiety and health anxiety, which I want to make a video on one day, and I will do, but yeah, I had a few days where I've just had a bit of a wobble and a bit of a blip. So I'm trying to kind of have some normality and have some things that pick me up to get me going again. But I really should go find that notepad that I have all my New Year's resolutions in, but I think they're next door. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream that I use constantly. I had this book that I ordered online and I realised it was far too thin for a notepad for everyday use, so I thought this would be wonderful to use for some goal setting. I do like to physically write down my personal goals, and then business goals is like a separate thing for me that I do on my computer, because then I can edit it, update it, that kind of thing. But I do like the process of sitting down with a pen and paper. I sat down in the living room on the Sunday when I was feeling a little bit better and just put some music on and just wrote these down. This is definitely not for everyone. Some people don't like this, and if you don't like this, then don't do it. I don't think you should ever do anything you don't like. But I really enjoy reflecting, understanding what makes me feel good, what doesn't make me feel good, having like, I feel like it gives me self-awareness, and I enjoy the idea of like thinking of what I would like to achieve in the future after reflecting. So I did do my 2021 reflections and thought about some of the things that I accomplished last year and some of the challenges that I had, and I thought I would share them with you, and also like some of my intentions for this year whilst I put my makeup on before we get cleaning in the house. So one of my proudest accomplishments for last year in 2021 was overcoming some really hard times. I did talk about this last year a little bit in some vlogs. I just had a really low period of anxiety and depression and health anxiety, and it was just one of the most difficult experiences I've had in my life. And I'm so proud of myself for getting through it, for seeking out CBT therapy. I was having talking therapy for a while, but I realised I needed specifically to get CBT therapy for my health anxiety because it was spiralling and I didn't know how to combat it. And that seriously helped me. I went privately because if some of you are struggling with anxiety, I want to, you know, recommend stuff for you. So I looked on Psychology Today and Counselling Directory, but I also spoke to my therapist who recommended me somebody local. But you also can go speak to your doctor and they will refer you. There is just a wait list if you go through the NHS. And I think it was about £60 per session, and I think I did maybe 6 or so sessions, and I found myself like feeling a lot better. So it isn't obviously within everyone's budget to go private, but if you think, right, maybe I have somewhere in my budget that I can adjust or cut back on one thing to afford this, I think that your mental health is so important. But that's another thing. But I want to encourage people to get therapy and talk about it openly, because I don't think it's talked about openly enough. That was the Inica Certified Organic Perfection Concealer that I just used, and I'm using the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Powder. Yeah, so I'm really proud of myself for that. I'm proud of myself for seeking therapy. I got acupuncture, which I personally found really helped me. I went through a phase where I was just like, I need to fix myself. I need to get over this. I need to. It was like a necessity. It was like for me, it just felt like if I don't do this, I don't know what the other option is. So every single day I did yoga in the morning. I did yoga with Adrian. I did her like her new 30-day challenge, and every single day I did that, I would cry. And I would also meditate with the Calm app every single day, and similarly I would cry. And I think there was so much pent-up anxiety in me that I hadn't been crying very much, and it just all came out, and I needed to do that. And my therapist said that was actually really positive that I was crying and getting it out of my system. And I'm proud of myself for getting over that. I'm proud of how determined I was and how I chose me, and I talked to my friends, I talked to my family, I was open about it, and I got myself through it, and I did the things I needed. That's like my biggest accomplishment for 2021. I'm like proud of us for moving house and renovating, and there's also some like business accomplishments that I was proud of. I left my management company last year and I'm proud of myself for that. So yeah, it was just a year of things that I'm like looking back and saying I'm proud of myself for essentially being determined and going for it and putting myself first. But then I wrote down some things that I wanted to have as intentions for this year. So my 2022 intentions. So I really want to reduce my alcohol intake. I am doing dry January. I have done dry January, I think, for the last few years. I used to not drink. Lots of you have watched my videos on not drinking. I did go 2 years without drinking. I do drink again now. I have a bit of an up and down relationship with alcohol. But I want this year to really try and only drink socially. So that means drinking when I'm eating out at restaurants, drinking if I've got friends over or family over, or if Alex and I are on a date. That's what I want to focus drinking on, if that makes any sense. And not just, it's Friday, I'm tired, I'm going to have a glass of wine and wallow, because sometimes I do that. And I think lots of us fall into that. And I don't think it's particularly positive or healthy for me. So that's one of my intentions for this year. It's hard to talk to you whilst also putting mascara on. I also really want to up my exercise routine and my time spent outdoors. Last year, I definitely didn't go outside as much as I wanted to, especially at the end of the year. I feel like the start of the year, when we moved house, I was going for runs outside. I was walking Roxy for an hour every day. I started that in lockdown in our old house, where I set myself the goal of just walking Roxy for an hour every day, getting outside in nature, because we used to split Roxy's walking, and sometimes Alex would walk her and I would do a shorter walk, and it wasn't like a routine that I was going on a long walk every day. And I set myself that goal, and that really helped me. And I kind of slowly through the year stopped doing that, and Alex ended up taking over some of the responsibility with walking Roxy, and I was doing the shorter walks, or he was just walking her and I wasn't walking her. And so my goal this year is to get outside every single day and go for a walk with Roxy, because I was putting that off and only doing it a few times a week, and it really makes me feel a lot better when I get outside. I think the winter makes it tricky because it's so rainy, but I just need to just make it a habit. So I've put it in my calendar every morning that I do that every morning, and it doesn't, I'm not putting pressure on like a time, it just means I just have to get outside. Another thing is to eat more home cooked foods. Because of renovating, because of moving house, we were just eating a lot more ready meals, or like frozen foods or quick foods, the same kind of meals over and over again, and not feeling particularly inspired when it comes to cooking, because we didn't have a kitchen for a long time. So that's one of my goals, is to just cook from scratch more often. I also want to get back into meditating, mindfulness, yoga, gratitude, because those are all things I've just stopped doing and they really, really help my brain. So I've also put that into my calendar. I really recommend this. If you have goals, don't just write down I want to do something, actually put steps in action to make that happen. So I have put a time in my day when I'm going to meditate and made that realistic. Like, I'm going to meditate, I think, to begin with, just for 5 minutes each day. And I'm going to write, or Alex and I are going to say to each other when we're having dinner, before we start dinner, 3 things we're grateful for. And that is like an actionable thing that I know that we can do, that's in my diary that I can actually do, rather than me just having this fanciful idea. Really, really does help. And I think that's something I need, because I've just stopped thinking about it. If you don't have discipline when it comes to mindfulness, it just disappears for me anyway. Life gets in the way, busyness gets in the way, and I just don't do it. So I need to be careful with making myself reminded. And so yeah, I'm going to remind myself to do that in the morning. So my idea is to meditate as soon as I get up. So I'm going to try and do that again. I haven't actually done this yet, because like I said, I've been in a lot of pain in the morning. So in the mornings, all I can focus on is taking a painkiller and having some breakfast and lying down to feel a bit better. And then I get on with the day, but I'm feeling a bit better now. So I'm going to start doing this very soon. I also want to have one thing in the calendar every month that is something to look forward to. So something fun, and overall just have more fun with friends, family, Alex, and not focus so much on always doing tasks. I feel like last year was a lot of tasks, renovating, moving house, doing lots of work, and it was just, also the pandemic, it's just not, fun wasn't in my brain, I don't think, enough. And I want to have something in the calendar every month I'm looking forward to that's fun, and arranging fun things with my family and friends, because I feel, maybe a lot of us feel this, that through lockdowns and through social distancing, we have been encouraged to not do things, but we can still do things that are safe for everybody, that keep fun in your life. And I want to do more of those things, like going out for walks with friends. That doesn't take any effort really, but it really, I find very fun. So I want to do more of that. Oh, I'm using the Pixie On The Glow blush, which has probably gone off by now because I've used this for years, and then the Bare Minerals bronzer. So one thing that we have done is we booked my 30th birthday trip. We haven't been on a holiday in 2 years, ever since the pandemic started. We haven't been on a holiday yet, so we booked a holiday in the Cotswolds, and I am so excited because we went to Cotswolds, I think in 2015, and we had such a lovely holiday. That was before that we vlogged. And Alex reminded me that I actually did vlog it, because I remember before I even started YouTube, I used to film stuff. I'd done this my whole life. And I remember saying to him, or he said to me, that I had said it would be really nice to have these videos to remember, and I don't know where those videos are. So there goes that idea, but it'd be fun to go back, and it's something to look forward to. And then in February, it's Alex's birthday, so we're thinking of booking a trip for his birthday as well, maybe Brighton, because we haven't been back to Brighton since I don't think we've been there since, maybe we've been there once or twice. No, we have been there since we moved, but not in a long time. So I really want to go back, and I think Alex does too. So we're thinking of doing that. So I really want something to always be booked or arranged or in the calendar. It can be literally as simple as having something to do with friends or family, like inviting people over now that I have a kitchen. I just haven't been doing that enough, because it's just always been like, oh, this weekend, what am I doing? I'm renovating. I also want to have balance and organisation within my work. So at the end of last year, I was working really hard. This is kind of a work business goal, but it's kind of, I feel like it's personal too, because it really leaks into my personal life. At the end of last year, I was really organising my calendar and my life so that I wasn't getting stressed and overwhelmed. With the help of my sister, who now works with us, it really made a difference to my headspace. So I want to carry that on into the new year, like just going through all the things that I do in my life and making it more organised. And there's different ways that I'm going to be doing that. And then the last thing I wrote is, I will be kind to myself and practice patience so I can be kind and patient with others. And I think that's something that maybe the start of this year with my wisdom teeth, I'm being taught, is to have patience. Things don't have to happen straight away. I don't need to be rushing. Things don't need to change immediately. They can take time, and I can be kind to myself, patient with myself. And I think that then in turn falls into my relationships with other people. So those are my intentions. That was very long. I did like a word of the year, and that my word of the year, which sounds a bit boring, is organisation. But I do want to organise my life, and hopefully I'll take you along for that. And we're going to be doing some decluttering and organising and sorting, and maybe I can share some of the ways that I'm actually doing that. And yeah, and then I also wrote down a morning routine and an evening routine, which I put into my Google Calendar. I love Google Calendar. You can do like reminders and tasks. So I've kind of got a slight routine that's realistic. That means I can wake up at a time that I know makes me feel good and fit the things that I want to do into my calendar and be realistic about it. And the same thing for the evening. One of the things in the evening that I'm also doing, which I started last year, was leaving my phone downstairs in the kitchen, which makes such a big difference. And I've been doing that, and it is incredible. So I'm going to be in the morning waking up, meditating first thing, like I said. I'm going to either go to the gym or use our Peloton, because I haven't used it enough since we got it. The gym and Peloton, or just exercise in general, is the best thing for my anxiety. It gets my energy out. It is, I know lots of people get mad when people say exercise is therapy, and I know it's not a replacement for therapy, but it's like I would say it's like a way to expel any negative energy and get that out of you. And then 7:30 to 8, I'm going to be walking Roxy. Might take longer than that, I might walk her for an hour, but I've put that in as like, realistically, I am able to walk Roxy and get ready for 9 o'clock. Like I don't need, like, realistically now, I mean, I'm talking to you, it takes me 5 minutes to get ready. If I'm showering, it's going to take me maybe 20 minutes. I don't need forever to get ready. I don't put makeup on most days. And then I'm going to be having my breakfast with my supplements, because I sometimes forget to take my supplements, and look at my calendar. And that's my morning. Not complicated, very simple, and we'll see how that goes. And then in the evenings, I'm going to be tidying up as I go each day, because I do this a lot where I leave things to the last minute I don't tidy as I go, and then my house ends up in a mess and I have to do it all in one go, and it gets a bit like, oh, there's so much to do. So I'm gonna be, after work, doing at least like one thing to tidy and organise, and do one thing that is like on my list of on my list of like personal admin or tasks after work, just so it's done. Because when you're an adult, there's so many things that you have to do, that you like, you know, book an appointment or send an email or pay an invoice, and I forget to do them. So that's a time that I am reminded, and I've put it in my calendar as a reminder. If there's a task, like an admin task, and hopefully at the start of each week I will write a list of them so I can tick them off. Or maybe there's just like, oh, I need to unload the dishwasher, whatever. Then we're gonna have dinner at our table rather than in the living room, and say something we're grateful for. Then we're gonna tidy up and clean the kitchen, and then I'm gonna leave my phone downstairs. Maybe I'll watch something with Alex in the evening as well, and go to bed between 8 and 9, journal and read a book, and not go on my phone because my phone's downstairs. And I want to read a bit more this year because I struggle with that too. So there is my probably half an hour introduction to all of my all of my goals this year. It is a lot, but it's more like, a lot of this is actually just a reminder and a continuation of the things that I do anyway, and that I want to do, and I generally do anyway. Lots of them, they're kind of things that I have lost along the way that I used to do, kind of thing. So I don't see them as complicated. They're quite simple for me. And they're things that when I am in this routine of doing, I feel a lot better and a lot more on top of things. Because a lot of my anxiety is feeling overwhelmed that I'm not on top of things and I haven't taken time for myself. And I do think that in our day and age, sadly, with the way our lifestyles are, you do have to forcibly make time in your calendar for yourself. It's just the reality of it. You can't rely on having that time, because otherwise, especially because I work for myself, if I don't forcibly put it in my calendar, it just won't happen, and I won't take time for me, and I won't stop, or, you know, I will take my phone to bed. So I have to have those reminders. This is the Bare Minerals Serum Infused Brow Gel, and this really old eye pencil from Brow Define. Is that even a brand? I have no idea, it's really old. That's my goals. Let me know if you have any goals, or if you don't like goals. I know that this probably to some people seems like a lot, maybe to some people it's not a lot, but for me it's more like a reminder of, like I just said, the things that I've forgotten along the way, and I'm not punishing myself for not doing them. It's now like, you know, nearly a week into the new year, and I actually haven't done a lot of these things because I've been unwell with my surgery, and I don't really mind that. It's more like something I'm aiming towards, not something I'm punishing myself with that I have to do every day. I'm gonna get dressed and we're gonna go clean and tidy and organise the house, and hopefully feel a lot more productive. This week especially, has been a bit of a easing my way in to life and work. And another business thing that Alex and I are working on at the minute is organising our finances. We saw an accountant yesterday. I know this is so dry and so dull, but when you run a business and you're busy with that business, I don't know, I feel like I anyway do this. I think that I have to know how to do things that I've not been educated on. Like, I'm not an accountant. I don't know about money and pensions and how to deal with taxes, like that sort, and how to like understand when you have a limited company, and it all goes over my head. I mean, I'm an intelligent person. I know the basics, don't get me wrong. I have a business. I know how to do these things. I've done years of accounts the last few years, but it's taking that next step to understand it better. And I feel like not enough women talk about finances, and that's something I'm empowering myself to do, and Alex and I are empowering ourselves to do as business owners, to take that next step this year to get really organised with it, because we've moved house now and we have the time to organise that kind of thing and be more smart. So that's one of our other goals, but that's kind of like a business goal. So we did meet with an accountant yesterday, and Alex was talking with them today as well about QuickBooks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, productive start. Anyway, gosh, I am so sorry. Some of you probably think I've just like brain dumped on all of you, but maybe I should have been more organised at telling you what my goals are, but yeah. This is the way my brain works. I like to have everything very like Anyway, I'm gonna get dressed, and I really don't want to tidy. I feel like what I'm doing is I'm procrastinating by vlogging because I really don't want to go downstairs and tidy. So I think I need to blast some music and start with the easiest thing first, which I think is upstairs, because there's like lots of folding that needs doing and clothes putting away, so I think we're going to start with that. Another thing that you probably don't see, well, I know you don't see because I edit it out, is I do a lot in vlogging of refilming. And Alex gets annoyed at me when he edits because he's like, I just edited a clip and spent like 10 minutes doing it and then realised that you refilmed the whole clip, so I had to start again. And I'm trying not to do that. Just when I clicked stopping recording then, I thought, oh, I really should re-record that because it was far too long and rambly. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to spend this year like refilming my authentic self just so it's perfect or just so it's shorter. I don't know that any of you really care. If you're watching me at this point, you know I talk a lot, so I don't need to refilm stuff and waste my time, because do you know what happens a lot of the time when I refilm it? I actually make it even longer. So I'm not going to refilm. Today is going to be a long video, and I'm actually making changes for this is a sidetrack again, I'm talking about something different. I'm actually making changes this year potentially to the way my channel is set up, because like I've got vlogs and food and other stuff all on one channel, so I'm thinking about like figuring a new setup, so you'll have to wait and see about that, but that's kind of exciting. So I've got my pyjamas bottoms on still because they're kind of like jogging bottoms, sweatpants kind of. These are from Fat Face, I got them years ago, and then this is my Organic Basics jumper, my recycled wool jumper. I was gonna spray my hair because this is what I do with my hair when it's been a couple days after washing. I have water with a few squirts of conditioner. It's really good if you do have wavy or curly hair to keep conditioning your hair through the week, because if you don't wash it, your hair will get dry and it needs to be moisturised if you're not washing it. So it really does help. You can use just leave-in conditioner on the ends as well, but I like to put it in a spray bottle because it also refreshes my waves. My hair actually looks kind of fine today, and my hair is going through a phase where it's not as wavy, and I'm wondering if it's because I dyed it. Let me know if any of you have experienced that, or if it's just the winter, or I don't know. My hairdresser did also mention that when your hair is more moisturised or less moisturised, that can affect your curl pattern, and she was wondering whether because my hair is a bit healthier now, that's why it's not as curly, because it's more moisturised. So it feels a lot softer recently and less dry. Oh my gosh, I am talking so much. I haven't vlogged in so long, so I just have so much to say to you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to put my hair straight up though, because we're cleaning. I'm not going to wear my hair down when I'm cleaning. Who's got time to wear their hair down when they're cleaning? The one area that I do think I need to get some dry shampoo. I did have some Living Proof, but I've run out. My crown, that's the only part that shows grease. But if I put it up, I suppose it won't really notice. I've been enjoying the low bun recently. I think it looks quite cute if you have a scrunchie. I have so many scrunchies at this point. I use this one sometimes. If I put my hair up with a hair tie, I'll then pop this round it and it just makes it look really cute. I actually did that on Christmas Day. Was it that hair tie? Was that scrunchie? Yeah, I used this scrunchie on Christmas Day. I put my hair in a bun. I did it much nicer than this. I actually spent time like making the whatchamacallit, the bun look pretty. Pinned it all up and then just put a big scrunchie around it and it just looks really cute. I really want to buy some bows as well to do that. Let's start with the bedroom. Haven't bothered to make the bed this morning because I knew I was tidying today. It's not horrendous, there's just a few bits here that have been sitting since Christmas, like all these cushions which we washed the covers, Christmas presents. Yeah, just need to sort it all out, don't we, Robbie? I didn't have my Invisalign in for that whole time because it's been a bit of a struggle keeping these in with the wisdom teeth situation, and now I'm putting them back in. They really hurt because it's like been on and off. I also wanted to say, because I seem to want to say everything today, I spent my start to 2022 on the sofa playing Candy Crush, watching Vampire Diaries, like binge watching Vampire Diaries, eating ice cream. And if that's you, and you've been watching loads of people's 2021 highlights and all their New Year's resolutions and everyone going to the gym and everyone talking about diets and everyone saying how great the new year's going to be and they're so motivated and so excited, That doesn't have to be you. I wish that was me, but it's not this year, and that's okay. And I just want to be an influencer online who has said that that's been my start to 2022. And if that's your start too, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad about yourself. You also can feel pretty great about yourself because maybe you needed to rest. And life isn't permanent. These things aren't permanent. Things will change. So yeah. If you're motivated and smashing it and going to the gym, also that's great too. Good for you. Wow. I want to be there. I'll be there soon. I'll get there. But let's get tidying and stop procrastinating by vlogging. Just another sunny day in Southern California. So my bedside drawer is kind of organised. It's still a bit cluttered, but because our bedroom isn't renovated yet, I don't really care. So this is my bedside table drawer, all of my pills. This is just paracetamol, ibuprofen, allergy and Rennie. I often get heartburn. The paracetamol and ibuprofen is for my wisdom teeth, and then sometimes I get a bit sneezy. I think I'm allergic to my cats very slightly, or dust or something. I've just got lip balm, moisturiser, some sleep spray. These monthly patches from BU I use when I'm on my period. It really helps. I don't know where I got these tissues. I didn't buy them. I think they just ended up in the house and I've just left them there. Dog treats to make Roxy come to bed, and vitamin D gummies, I think, to remind me to take them. So yeah, quite simple. And then in here I've just got like journals, books, and a few little bits down there, like a heat pad, my hair removal device, diffuser. And then on top, these are the books that I'm wanting to read right now. I have a real issue with reading, like I said. Poldark I'm starting with because I know I love the TV show, so I think that I will love this. This is just right up my street. So I think it'll be a really easy way to get me back into reading. And then I got this as a gift for Christmas. So I'm going to read this and see if I'm in the mood for something a bit more intellectual versus something that's like fiction. So those are on my bedside table. I'm leaving them out as a reminder. Got my nice candle that I got for Christmas. This is a St. Evil candle, and I just love candles like this that have really beautiful things, so I can reuse that when it's done. I can clean it out and use it as a plant pot or something. Charging my Apple Watch because that has been retired for about a month. And then I've got my sleep spray from This Works. This is my alarm clock. I'm actually updating this hopefully soon because this one has really horrible sounds for the alarm. When you wake up, it sounds like ringtone noises. Like the quality is so bad, so I'm going to get a proper Philips Lumi. This one was like a £20 one on Amazon. It's worked for like the last 2-3 years I've had it. It's been fine, but it's grating on me now, the sounds. And I actually got my dad the Philips one recently, and it was so much better. And I was like, I'd love to wake up to that lovely bird song. So we're going to be updating it, and this is where I put my jewellery when I take it off. So, and I've got 2 posters because I always have a cup of tea and a water at night. And then I've got my little stones. Didn't mean to do a bedside table tour, but there you have it. It's where the people came to play. Another resolution is, well, I already started doing this, but to not accept so many PR packages. Sometimes, sadly, brands send you them without asking. But I've got some cod liver oil from Holland & Barrett. So something's got mixed in the, I don't know. Usually brands do contact you before, but sometimes when you get on someone's PR list, they just send you stuff. And this got sent like on Christmas Eve, and it was just like another thing, especially when it comes to like minimalism and like trying to be organized. It's like this arrives on Christmas Eve when you're trying to sort out, and then suddenly you now have a big box of stuff you don't want. And can I just preface this by saying it's not that I'm not grateful, because I understand the privilege of this. This is more of a like an organisation, declutter, minimalism point of view when it comes to this kind of thing, and it's I think an issue within the industry and sustainability and waste. So you tidy your house and then you get this package, then you have to deal with the package, the recycling, the waste. I now have to try and find someone who will want these. I might ask the brand if I could send the package back, but then again, that's another thing that you have to then organise to get this sent back, and it's a really large box. So what I'm likely to do is I will give this to my parents. Kombucha, I can't drink kombucha, it gives me heartburn. So I'm gonna have to give that to somebody. Liquid collagen, I don't think that's vegan and not something that I would use. I think it's a bit of a gimmick, to be honest. This is handy. This is like Barocca. This is one of my things, is I'm going to add it to my email signature brands, please don't send me product without prior approval, and do not send me a tote bag, a reusable cup, a cotton bag. Brands like to send merchandise to you and you end up with lots of it, and I think it's a bit wasteful. This is very lovely though. This little bouquet of dried flowers, but again, I didn't realise this was in here, so these might not have been dried before. So yeah, this is not calling out Holland & Barrett. I like Holland & Barrett a lot, and I do work with them sometimes, but it's just when things get a bit like, it's not the way I want to move forwards in 2022. I want to only have products sent from brands that I'm working with or from things that I genuinely want to use. And I think I'm going to do a giveaway or a few giveaways with some of the stuff that I have been sent in the last year that I didn't ask to be sent. And I don't want any more because I've got a drawer of stuff, so yeah. Apart from hoovering, this room's done. All tidy. This is very creased. We mainly put this on here because the cats like to go on the bed and we don't want them to get the bed dirty, but that was creased in a pile, so that's why it looks like that. This Ancestry DNA was something I got for me and Alex got for Christmas, so we have to give that a try. I'm excited to do that and find out, and I'll definitely let you know. And these got in a box, so I'm not sure if they're Alex's or what of their Christmas present, so I've just left those here. But on to the next room, and what I always do is I throw everything out of the room that doesn't belong in the room, and then I sort it out. So this is like rubbish and stuff to go downstairs.
Don't let them transform you.
Here's another cleanse for the new year. Little Roxy getting a little bath. And all that dirt. Roxy! Good girl. She kind of hates it.
You get me the brown towels? Alright.
Good girl.
Get the coming.
She needs a haircut. Look at all that hair. Look at all that mud, Robbie.
It doesn't look that muddy. Right, we're making progress. This needs to go back in the office. That was there for someone to sleep on, Alex's brother, at Christmas, because it's like a sofa bed, but everything's been folded in here. In here I've made the bed. Oh, that's pillows sticking out. I need to squish that in a bit more. But bed's been made. There's one too many pillows on the bed, but I'm trying to figure out where some of these things are going to go, because we changed some of our pillows over from the living room, but there's only a few things there. Folded lots of clothes, and just going to take these downstairs and work on the downstairs hallway. This hallway is the place that always gets so messy, constantly. We always have stuff here. One day when we renovate the hallway and the stairs and that kind of stuff, I'm definitely going to reconfigure. I already know what I'm going to do in order. What's on my lip? I just had some seaweed snacks. That's what it is. Yeah, we're definitely going to reconfigure. I'm thinking of when we eventually attach our office to the house, I would like to have a different entrance that came through like the utility room. So move the utility room, so when you came in there'd be a place to dump all of this stuff, all your coats, and a place for dog things, because this is mainly dog things and then dog walking coats, and I would just like it not to be visible when you come in, because it just makes for an untidy space. And then also whenever we get packages, they always just end up right here, which is where you enter the home, and I want my entrance to my home to feel like relaxing and pretty and feel like tidy at all times, and I want to figure out a way of making that happen even before we do the renovations. So that's something that maybe I will do in a video in the new year, like try and find some storage solutions in our utility room and in the hallway so that this doesn't happen so often. So maybe like a location that we put our packages, and maybe somewhere where we put most of our coats, because they don't all need to live on display here, and that kind of thing. So I'll try and do that, but for now we just need to put everything away after Christmas, because there's just, it's not even that bad. It's like
tiny little bits, but we just need to put it away because we haven't since Christmas time. And there's just like, I think this is some washing because we dry our laundry over the Arga, so I think we need to just take that upstairs, put some Christmas lights away, that kind of thing. Some of you on Facebook noticed that we have got our curtains in. I'll show you properly once we have them properly fitted. We have a few issues with the tops. We wanted pinch pleats and they don't look right. They're not hanging properly. I think our seamstress hadn't done them before, so we're going to get them just done normal pleats. And then, yeah, we're going to figure that out. But they are beautiful. I'm so happy with the print that we chose and how it kind of all comes together with everything else in the room, with the sort of floor. And I'll show you that all when we actually are finished with the room, when our new furniture arrives, which actually I think is coming next week. And it'll be so, so beautiful, but they look great. We've ordered some metal curtain hooks because these are quite heavy curtains with the linen, and then they've got interlining and then they're lined, so they're quite heavy. They keep on, this one especially keeps on falling down. And then we also got these things on Facebook Marketplace. So this is a lovely barley twist secondhand table. It's so gorgeous. I'm in love with it. It doesn't look quite right at the minute. It's too high for this sofa, but when we move things around and our new furniture's in, we'll play around with it and see what works, or if not, it can go somewhere else. I just absolutely love it. Look at the detail, and this was £45. And then the real steal was this set of 23 leather bound encyclopedia for free. I think the people were moving house. The covers, I think they kind of look black, but they also kind of look dark green in different lights. But yeah, there's 23 of them, and they fit. They don't fit on the smaller shelves, but they fit on the bigger ones. So when we do our proper makeover video, I'm going to rearrange these shelves because they've just kind of, I just shoved everything on the shelves. I didn't really think about it, and my dream or my plan is for them to just be completely books. That's what I would like. I think it would look beautiful, and these books are actually really, really gorgeous books. They're actually encyclopedia, which my mum was like, this is what we used before we had Google. We actually had to look up in an encyclopedia about stuff rather than Googling it. So I just think that this is beautiful, and as you can see that the page edges are all gold. So yeah, just absolutely unbelievable that they were giving these away for free. So very excited to put them all on the shelves eventually. I'm just going to fluff up these cushions, do a big hoover, and then tidy up the kitchen. The kitchen just needs a bit of washing up and stuff, but the kitchen I did a huge tidy up of after Christmas, and it took me 3 hours. So the kitchen's fine, it just needs tidying every day because obviously you use it every day. So yeah, let's get hoovering and we're nearly done. Roxy, you look absolutely ridiculous. What has happened to your legs? What's happened to your legs? What's happened to this leg? What's it doing here? As one of the things for the new year for me is to get outside every day, I'm gonna go walk Roxy. It's getting dark, so not ideal, but got my boots on. The kitchen is looking a lot tidier this end. Just need to sort out some bits on the side and the table, and then hoover everywhere, put the stuff in the attic, and the house will be back to normal. So that's very exciting. But Roxy, do you want to go on a walkies? Do you want to go on a walkies? Should we go outside? Yay! Please. Come here. Bobby. Come here. Good girl. Okay. this is so nice. I was just thinking, I don't have my headphones in. I usually pretty much always bring my headphones on a walk, but my headphones are out of battery. And it's so nice to just be quiet. I might try and do this like at least once or twice a week where I don't take headphones, because it's very meditative and mindful, which is a goal of mine, as you know, for this year. And it's very relaxing, and you never regret going for a walk. I don't think I've ever regretted getting outside and going for a walk, and it's a good reminder. So yeah, this is just what I needed. The fresh air, it's a clear sky, this time of day is beautiful. I was just thinking how actually I think this time of year is my favourite time of year. I know loads of people hate January. My birthday's in January, so I quite like January for that reason. I love January because it's like a fresh start, and it's very reflective. Sometimes it's difficult and it's challenging in January, but I always find whenever you have difficult or challenging times, it pushes you forward, and it's like a prompt for you to make a change, or for you to, I don't know, think about things in your life. So that's why I like January, and I think this time of year is beautiful because it's getting lighter every day, which makes me really happy, and the sun in the sky is really low, so the sunsets are just so beautiful. Before Christmas, the days are just consistently getting shorter and shorter, so to me that is a bit like, oh, every day is getting darker, but I don't know, it's like a sign of like something to look forward to. Spring's around the corner. So everywhere is pretty much tidy, not 100% finished. The hallway's nice and tidy now though. This area is much better. Just got the coats that we use for dog walks. I've got like my one I wore just now, which is when it's not cold, my Finistère when it's raining, and then this one is when it's really cold. Alex has got his. Living room's looking much better, though the cushions have been a bit ruined by Alex and Roxy. We do still have to put everything up in the attic, which we're going to do after dinner. So all the Christmas lights are going up in the attic, and I need to hoover upstairs, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll end the video here. Hope you enjoyed the first video back in 2022, and I know it was probably a very long one because I rambled a lot, but I'll see you in my next one. Let me know if you have any requests for this year and what you want to see, and I'll oblige. But I think I'm definitely going to do some decluttering and organisation this year because that is my word of the year, so stay tuned.